Yo, what up, what up, what up, friends?
Moving into boxing, the monster, Inoue, fought on Tuesday of about last week, so 8 days ago. And he fought Doheny and had a TKO in the seventh round. He is obviously world title holder in multiple divisions, and he is called the monster for a weekend, reason, excuse me, the weekend. So, what is your thoughts on that fight, my friend?
I mean, he did what he's supposed to do. I mean, got up out of there. That fight was like at, I want to say 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? It was but early for us because it was fighting over there in Japan. And, the monster does what the monster always does. I don't fault him. He's in my pound for pound top three. But I don't fault him for his opposition because it's not his fault who he's fighting. But he's moved up. I'm waiting on for when Bam Bam Rodriguez moves up to his division. I mean, it might take a little while, maybe a year or two, if Bam Bam keeps on a projection that he's doing, because he's in my top 10 best fighters right now. Bam Bam Rodriguez, y'all need to look him up. Hell of a fighter. That's the fight everyone's kind of clamoring for, but I don't think Bam Bam's ready yet. Hopefully he gets another fight. If he moves up, at least in his division, get one fight, then fights him. That'd be great. But I mean, people were saying that, they want Inoue fighting Tank Davis, and like, man, Tank will knock the. I ain't gonna get canceled, but he knock him out if they fight at 130. Tank, he's just a bigger guy. So I will, if he cleans out that division like he cleaned out the prior division, and moves up again, maybe there's like a feeler fight at 130. I'll be eager to see how that translates over as far as his weight and his power and whatnot. Because when he fought Luis Neri, Neri put him on his butt. Just like he's been tested even when he fought Nonito Donaire. That fight, I think they fought twice, but the first fight was pretty tough for him. You know what I'm saying? So he's been in some tough fights, but people always like to say, like I said it for Bud Crawford, I can't put him up there because he hasn't fought nobody. If he beats the crap out of everybody he fights, then it's not like he's going to decision. Okay. He's putting on a show. So you can't fault him for that. Okay. It's not his fault that, he's not fighting the other marquee names, because there's no marquee names in his division. So he's just doing what he's supposed to do. But yeah, he got him up out of there. The guy basically quit off a body shot. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, like, it was bad. It was like, what was it, round 7, round 9? Somewhere around there. It's pretty rough. Pretty rough.
Yeah, it was round 7.
Yeah, round 7. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, Derek. I'll send you the picture too. I don't know. I know I'm on 720, and it's a brand new camera that I just bought, so it's got to be the internet. So it is what it is, because I got internet in my apartment. I even got that and went out of my way to buy that, which I didn't have before, and I thought was the issue. So clearly, hey, nothing I can do now. Anyways, boxing still 15 rounds, no budget.
It's a joke. He knows what he's doing. I know what he's doing.
I know, because he asked that last time. Remember, he asked that in the stream
he's trying to be like. I'll say it. He's trying to be like Man Dork. But yeah, Baja, go ahead, pop at that Man Dork. But yeah, let's keep moving. Let's go.
Yeah, and yeah, I'll look into that too, Flo. Thank you for that. That's a good point. I could probably try to do that since it's down here. So, all right, cool. Let's keep it moving then. So moving into the fight this weekend, we have a few different fights I know you wanted to touch on. Obviously, the main event is the most important, but there are some other 2 fights that are on the card that I know you wanted to at least give your opinion on. So first, we'll start with Nashville's own, shout out, Caleb Sweet Hands Plant, going up against Trevor McCombie, part of the MAGA universe.
Man, he was straight MAGA. Jesus Christ.
What are your thoughts on this fight? It's 12 rounds for the vacant WBA interim super middleweight title.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Caleb Plant. I mean, I like Caleb Plant. He's the type that you know what I'm saying, he's old school. He wants to fight the best. He always wants to put on a good show. Also, if you disrespect him as a man, he might slap the shit out of you. Ask Charlo. Was it Jamel or Jamal, one of the two? Ask them about that. Okay? When he smacked him in his hat, like that. Same with Ryan with the racist bigot who tried to talk about his wife, who was suing that guy. When he tried to talk about his wife, threw the drink, went at him at I forgot what fight that was. So Caleb Plant is one of my. I just like him as a person, and he's a damn good fighter. You know, I just thought the game plan against Canelo wasn't what he should have done, but you know, it is what it is. That's when you fight when you step your game to like the upper echelon. You know, his last fight he hasn't fought since the David Benavidez fight, and I don't know how he survived 12 rounds because he looked good in the first few rounds, but David Benavidez put that pressure on him. He was looking, you know, it looked rough for him, but you know, he still survived. He hasn't fought since then. I think that was about 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, something of that nature. But you know, he's 6-2 in his last 8 fights. You know, he's former IBF champion. He knows what it is to get that high level. He's a hell of a businessman because he has businesses outside of the ring, but he knows how to translate that into dollars in the ring. Like when he beefed with Benavidez and even Edgar Berlanga, who's fighting Canelo Alvarez, he did the trademark and was making money off their name because they never did it. So every Edgar Berlanga shirt sold or whatever, I believe Caleb Plant gets money off that. He made a website with their name on it, which is hilarious. It's a great petty move, and I take my hat off to him. If I had a hat on, I would tip it to him because I love the pettiness when you have beef with somebody that's not on your level of IQ, and when it comes to the business side of things. So shout out to him with that. But he's fighting Trevor McCumbee. He was at the press conference all maggot out back when they first have it like that's supposed to mean something. I guess he's trying to get that crowd base, you know, cool, whatever. If that's what you got to do to get fans to get you, well, sure. But you know, McCumbee, he's 28-0. I don't really know much about him. 21 knockouts. Plant called him a glorified 31-year-old prospect, which is hilarious. This is his first step up with a higher opposition, fighting a Caleb Plant. And a question I saw on, I forgot the homie's name. I follow him on Facebook. Jesus, I want to give you credit, but he said this is the first time on pay-per-view, or can you name the last time on pay-per-view 2 white Americans fought each other? If anyone in the comment section, probably Google it right now. When is the last time 2 white Americans fought each other on pay-per-view? All right, in boxing. And I was like, shoot, I was thinking like Mickey Ward versus Arturo Gatti, but that's Irish Mickey Ward, and that's Arturo Gatti, he's Italian. So as far as like white guys fighting each other, I can't think of any. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully it's a milestone, and you know, it could wake up a lot of other Caucasian fighters, American fighters to go back pretty far. Yeah. I can't think of any, you know. But shout out to both of them. But Caleb Plant's gonna win. You go ahead and get that. You don't even gotta get it. We all know Caleb Plant's gonna win. Yeah.
Clubs banger.
Yeah, that's not even. Right. You know, I wasn't even gonna entertain that one. Yeah, Caleb Plant gonna get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what rounds he's gonna get him up out of here. I'll be shocked if it goes the distance. I'll be shocked. But Caleb Plant's gonna get him up out of here. I'll put that. I would just say, yeah.
So you're saying Trevor McGumby is about to get bent up like Gumby? That wasn't good. Okay, I just thought of it. It wasn't good. All right, title fight is Irislandi Lara versus Danny Garcia for Lara's WBA super middleweight title. What are your thoughts on this co-main event?
Well, like I mentioned with about T City, Brian Ortega, you got 2 fighters that fight once in a blue moon. You got Lara. They say he's 41 years old. He's a defected Cuban fighter. Shout out to my man Ruben, the Rubik's Cuban. He's always sizing him up. Lara is a great fighter. I think he beat Canelo. Please, people, rewatch that fight. He beat Canelo, and he is the reason why you cannot. When Canelo has a press conference, no fighters can really go up there because he's the one who snatched the mic out of his hand. And people remember that. Now no fighters can really walk up on Canelo like that. That's why Demetrius Andre had to do it from the crowd, and he's like, payday. So he's the reason why you can't walk up on Canelo after a fight. But he's a damn good fighter. Fought a who's who. You know, he's fought. This is how long he's been in the game. He's fought Paul Williams. He's fought Canelo. He's fought Jared Hurd, Swift Jared Hurd, who has the same similar nickname as Danny Garcia, who he's fighting. Jared Hurd, local guy, DMV, shout out to him, PG County. But you know, he's fought just about everybody. Austin Trout, I believe, also, and you know, he's still in the game at age 41, which is questionable because Alfonso Soriano, they said he was 19 when he was really 33 years old when he was playing with the Mets, I believe, back in the day. So you never could trust their birth certificates. But you know, he's fought 5 times in the last 5 years. So I mean, I believe this is a catch weight for WBA, which is weird. I never knew you could be a catch weight and still be for the belt. That's Whatever. Maybe that
Interesting.
that belt has different rules and regulations, but but he's fighting Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia straight out of Philadelphia, representing Puerto Rico. Danny Garcia is another guy. He's fought a who's who. He's ex-champion at 140, 147. Fought the Sean Porters, fought the Earl Spences, fought Eric Morales twice. But I was at the Amir Khan fight in DC. I was at the convention center. I was at that fight. So he's fought a who's who since he's been in the game. He's only 36 years old, but his last fight was against Jose Benavidez his first fight when he moved up, and I was after fighting Earl when he lost to Earl Spence, and I was after like a 2-year break or whatever. I had it written down here. Okay, so he's 5-3 in his last 8 fights, but they're so spaced out. That's within like a 7-year span. Okay, so he'll fight, take a break, fight again, take a break, fight again. Say when fighters say stuff like, oh, I don't need to fight anymore. I got all my investments, things like that. When you start talking like that, to me, you got one foot already out the door. You're not as focused because you already solidified your wealth and what you're going to do the next step of your life, which is great. But when you start talking like that, to me, that means that you're not. It just sounds like you're not as focused on the task at hand. And you're about to go into the ring with somebody who's going to try to take your head off. So with Danny Garcia's rust. And with Erislandy Lara's rust, this is kind of like a toss-up to me, to be honest with you. This one's hard. This one's hard to pick. But I'm going to go with
Clubs Bangers.
Age over anything. I'm going to go with Danny Garcia. Okay. I don't.
Wow.
Knockout.
Really?
I think go the distance. Yeah, I'm going to go with Garcia on this one. He's younger. He doesn't have that much wear and tear on him as much as Lara. I mean, Lara, he's fought everybody, and he's been in for a minute. I mean, I saw a picture last week. He fought Moses for a piece of bread back in the day. They was fighting, and I was like, hey, he's that old, but he's one of those. I'm saying he's old as dirt. So I'm a big fan of him. I just think the age it catches up with everybody at some point, and I think it's gonna catch up with Erislandy and Lara. I think Danny Garcia's gonna get him on this one. This is part of my master plan, but that's why I think.
Okay, no, I mean, hey, I'm gonna wait for you to bring everything full circle and unravel your master plan.
I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now. So the fans. Hold
on.
Okay, go ahead.
It was Lara is a 260 favorite, so the Las Vegas does not agree with you. Let's just say
they never do. That's why my back's against the wall. Okay, my back is against the wall. I need some good picks. I've been slacking lately on my UFC picks. I need to bring myself back up. So that's why I got the wall behind me, man. I feel like one of them cats from Heathcliff hanging out in the alley or something right now.
In the alley.
Some of y'all ain't have cable and watch that. It's okay.
I remember Heathcliff. That's tremendous. Heathcliff and Garfield. That's tremendous. All right, let's move to the main event. Yeah. Eating the fish in the bone. Yeah. Canelo Alvarez is making the 8th defense of at least one of those super middleweight titles, depending on their stupid
one.
Yeah, they're the stupid rules they have about stripping people and all these other stupid things. Alvarez 61-2 and 239 KOs. First won his super middleweight title back in December 2020 over Callum Smith. Became an undisputed champion over the aforementioned Caleb Plant in November 2021. The IBF stripped him of a belt in July after Alvarez decided to fight the fighter he is now, Edgar Berlanga, Puerto Rico's own, Wepa, instead of the IBF's #1 mandatory challenger, William Skull, was who he was supposed to fight. So, I guess technically that does mean that this is the lineal championship, but I'm not sure, so I'll let you explain that more. But anyways, this is a huge fight. Berlanga is 22-0 with 17 KOs. Hyped prospect. I know I followed his whole career because he came up and he had the 16 fights with knockouts, first round knockouts in a row, or 14, something like that. And it was really awesome. So I was watching all his fights. I'm going to let you get into the boxing schematics, but in the end, you can tell what is really going to happen in a fight based on the amount of experience a person has, and that's all I'll say. Clubber D, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'll start with Canelo with the belt situation. This is the reason why boxing is corrupt and people aren't fans of boxing. A lot of different belts in the commissions. Yes, he got stripped by the IBF because he didn't want to fight the mandatory challenger, but that never stopped any other. It didn't stop the WBC for letting him skip over David Benavidez for 3 years. It didn't stop the WBA for letting him skip over David Morrell for 4 years. But now the IBF grows a set and said, we're going to strip you because you don't want to fight our fighter. I get that, but all the commissions, all those belts need to keep that same energy because he should have already fought Benavidez and he should already have fought David Morrell. Everybody knows that. So that's why, like, when it comes to that stuff, I'm like, whatever. It's so weird to me. But and also when he fought Calvin Smith, Benavidez had just got stripped for having illegal substance in his body, recreational drugs, and that belt was thrown in to the belt he won. That's how he got the WBC belt. It was kind of weird, but you don't usually see that. But anyways, I mean, Canelo, he hasn't really knocked anyone out since Caleb Plant. I think his last 5 fights or last 4 or 5 wins have been unanimous decision. They've gone the distance. The last fight with Muhammad Munguia, he could have got him out earlier. He was nice to him. I think he could have knocked him out. Charlo ran that whole fight.
He was nice to him.
Yeah, I mean, it was. He literally could have knocked it. Like, there's so many openings. He could have got Muhammad Munguia out of there. But I guess he must say, hey, you know what? After he says he's not going to fight any other Mexicans, and he fights him. But it's Canelo. I mean, his ring IQ, Berlanga's not even close to that. Berlanga's not even on the same atmosphere as Canelo when it comes to this. Berlanga, yes, the first 16 fights, he was getting people up out of there, but then he went the distance with a journeyman, and that's when he kind of got exposed. And people were like, okay, Berlanga he's not all the hype that people thought he is. And he's there biting people. There's a couple other fights doing some tricks, he gets too emotional in the fight and he does some things he's not supposed to do. This fight, if anyone knows Canelo or follows Canelo's career, Berlanga reminds me of James Kirkland when they fought in Houston at the Astros Stadium back in the day. And Kirkland didn't have Ann Wolfe. Powerful fighter, knocked people out, always put on a show, but had no discipline. Okay. And Canelo, that was a highlight knockout. I mean, Kirkland, he hit him. Like, he was, like I said, he put the ring on. He was with Frodo and them. He was with whatever his name is from Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm saying? He was in the shadow realm. Okay. That was factory delete, factory reset button on his body because mine was so close, knocked him out. This fight, like with Berlanga, like I said, he's a proud Puerto Rican fighter from the Bronx, that old New York style, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna come straight at Canelo. He's not gonna run, he's gonna meet him in the middle of the ring, which is cool. But if you do not have a game plan and there's too many highlights, if you watch this man fight, he is not disciplined. Okay. He'll put some oomph in those punches, but he doesn't keep his guard up all the time. He's easy to get hit. I think Canelo's going to capitalize on this. I don't think he's going to take him out as fast as he did Kirkland, like he did Kirkland in like the first or second round. But we don't even need a club banger for this one because people already know Canelo will get him up out of there. I'm gonna say by the 5th round. Usually 6-7 rounds when they kind of figure the person out. He's gonna get him up out of there by the 5th round. He will knock him out clean. He's gonna wake up. He's gonna have a bottle of coquito in his hand. Like, oh, where'd I get this from? He's gonna be back sipping on something. You know what I'm saying? He might have some Red Snapper Mofongo. You never know. But Canelo's gonna knock his ass out. And they showed the record of Mexico versus Puerto Rico. I think it's like 70 and 79. I think Mexico's up right now on the fighters going against each other. I'm not. Don't quote me on that, but I think Mexico is winning a little bit in the rivalry. But that's one of the great boxing rivalries. We need more fighters, going at each other like this. But I don't. Berlanga has heart. I just don't see him landing a lucky punch. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. So I got Canelo getting up out of there. 5th round knockout.
Yeah, I completely agree. Canelo's defense will just by itself be too much for Berlanga. And as much as I love him being a Puerto Rican fighter, and we were hoping to be one of the next up and coming better ones, and he still can be. But taking this fight that's it's not even. There's not a shadow of a doubt in my mind that Canelo is going to easily win this bout. And it sucks that Canelo runs from his main competition and has to fight these young up and comers or these bum nobodies or these journeymen. Because honestly, we would like to see him fight not only better competition, but also we'd like to see some of these younger fighters be able to continue to fight and make themselves better before having to come up against such a challenge that can derail their career early on. So be better, Canelo, be better. You're too good and you've been around too long and fighting too long. And maybe that's just what it is, you know, who was it that said the silk sheets and pajamas, when you wake up in silk sheets and pajamas? Who was that?
Marvin Hagler.
Yeah, Marvin Hagler, right? So when you wake up,
Yeah.
you know, like Conor McGregor feels these days. You wake up with a lot of money.
You do construction work. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put the work in. And Berlanga, you know, he's game. Fat Joe came out on an interview. He was like, you know, the last Puerto Rican fighter I walked to the ring. What happened? You know, so he has that. You know, he's from New York. He has that New York Puerto Rican crowd. You know, it's rowdy. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Wepa, all that to all them. Shout out to them in Puerto Rico, and you know, hook a brother up with a bottle of coquito, please, somebody. But you know, it's gonna be tough for him because he's not disciplined. When you get inside, your hands are down. You easily get caught. He's been caught many times by fighters that shouldn't be catching him. And you know, not to say I hate that word exposed, but when he fought, I think it was Steve Ross. I think we were down in Orlando at a cigar shop. That fight went the distance. Me, my brother, and Francis, we were all watching that fight. And, you know, I was like, damn, man, Berlanga should get this guy up out of there. And dude was outboxing him. And then he barely pulled off the victory. And then he has a little issue with Top Rank. And now he's with the Zone with Eddie Hearn. So, you know, and just follow back on that conspiracy stuff. His last fight got him the regular or the number one contender for the WBA, which was David Morrell for the longest, but he moved up to light heavyweight. So now this guy gets a title shot all of a sudden, which is like, come on, man. It's typical boxing politics.
Yeah, and you have lamented for many of years and on this show about the politics of boxing and how we never get what we deserve or what we want as fans because you know, the politics and the different federations and all this stuff comes into play. It doesn't allow us to be able to get the fights that we want and see the things that we want to see, the action that we want to see. So I agree. Cool. So September 21st, there's another huge fight that we want to talk about. And it is not the all-British fight that people want to see, although they are still hoping that may come to be after this fight. But on September 21st, there is the Anthony Joshua versus Daniel DuBois card at Wembley Stadium, for the IBF, the vacant IBF heavyweight title. So DuBois, 26 years old, stopped Hrgovic to win the interim belt in June before being upgraded to the official champion after Alexander Usyk vacated the regular title. He will now defend against Anthony Joshua, a former who is aiming to become a three-time champion. So he is a former champion, aiming to become a three-time champion at age 34, and also aiming to get the biggest fight in British heavyweight history, which would be him versus Tyson Fury, which is what they're aiming for. Shall there be a victory in this matchup? Joshua, funny enough, back in June, said he was threatening to put a chair across DuBois' face, which is comical because this is not pro wrestling. So, my friend, what do you think about this fight? Who do you think will win?
Ooh, this early prediction. Oh man. I do like this fight. I'm not a fan of the tough guy persona that Anthony Joshua tries to do sometimes. To just be himself. You know, there's no need to because when they had a face off couple, I think it was last month, he was trying to intimidate DuBois, and Daniel DuBois wasn't having it. And this isn't like the meek, timid DuBois who fought Usyk. Even though I thought he did win that fight with that body shot before he got knocked out, but they say it was a low blow. If you follow his career, he's always been kind of reserved, very quiet, no personality, very, just to himself. But after that fight with Usyk, something's changed with this guy. This guy is legit. He's a killer now. I guess he's found his smile like Shawn Michaels lost back in the day. So when he fought Big Baby Jarrell Miller, he put the beat down on him, and that's what Jarrell Miller came in damn near 300 pounds or over 300 pounds. When he fought Philip Horvich, Horvich was talking so much junk. That's the guy Eddie Hearn was sizing up to be the next big thing. And when he fought him, he beat the snot out of that man. I mean, hands, feet, ankles, elbows, everything, beat his tail. So this Daniel DuBois is a new and improved, and he ain't playing around. Anthony Joshua, on the other hand, he fought Otto Alwine. And this is me doing no freaking prep for this one. You called me off guard with this, Omar. I know we was going over this one. But he beat Otto Wallin his last fight. No, did he beat him or Francis Ngannou? I think it was Francis Ngannou he beat last. But his last few fights, he's looked okay. He's looked a lot better. I think that Joshua's have finally gotten over the back-to-back losses with Usyk. That's a fight I don't want to see again because Usyk is just a better, more skilled fighter. Joshua, I don't think he's going to win this fight. I don't think he's going to win. I actually think DuBois to win this fight. Yeah, I don't have Joshua winning this fight. DuBois has been looking great. He's been looking very good his last two fights. And I think he tried to rattle DuBois with the face off when he got in his face and was in there with the tank top talking about, hey, Fam, show respect, Fam. Doing all that. Like, and DuBois looking at him like, bro, what you want to do? What you want to do? Stood up. So he's not getting rattled by Joshua's antics. So I think DuBois is coming in this fight. He's coming to take his head off. I got Joshua losing this fight, man, because the fight they want is. I hear you, Rick. Tell him, Rick.
Jeez Louise, what?
Joshua, because they want the Canelo. They want the Joshua Fury fight, but yeah. I mean that's 3-4 years too late. You know what I'm saying? That's like Wilder versus Joshua. That's like 5 years too late. I just don't see it. I do not see it happening. I don't, because if Usyk wins, you're not going to have that fight. You can have Joshua fight Joshua fight Fury just to have them fight. It'll still sell out at Wembley, but it won't be for the belts. Usyk might even retire. What is there left for Usyk after he fights Fury again? So Usyk will go down as one of the best cruiserweights of all time and one of the best heavyweights of all time for his feats. He won't be, maybe. I mean, it's a long list. I don't know if you put him in top 10, but for what he's done in his era, can't deny it. So that whole Joshua versus Fury is going to all predicate off if he wins this belt, because he wants to be a multiple time champion. So, and it might not happen because DuBois is no joke. He's very good. And then you also got Bakali and Zhang. They should be fighting pretty soon too. And that's going to be the brother who knocked out Jared Anderson on the undercard of Bud Crawford, and Zhang, who knocked out Wilder. So that's going to be a hard-hitting affair. So there's some shaking up to do in the heavyweight division coming up. Some shaking up to do. I cannot wait. But I'm going with DuBois, 100%.
Wow. Okay.
100%.
Joshua is the 450 favorite, which for him is shorter odds than usual. But damn, he's definitely the favorite. I can't see that. If anything, I could even see some sort of controversial decision, maybe even some money under the table, some sort of thing to make sure that Joshua and Fury fight. 450, yeah, he's a 450.
I don't care if he does a 619 like Rey Mysterio. It's going to be DuBois, okay? I tried. It's
okay. We both had a stinker today. That's right.
Yeah,
Anthony and I got Anthony Joshua in this one. I can't see a way that they don't try to ensure every way possible that they get Joshua versus Fury, which may not be for the belts, but I disagree. It would still be the biggest heavyweight fight in British history. Wow. Okay, cool. Well, there you go. Hey, Clubber D is the expert, not me. So take that to your DraftKings, FanDuel, ESPN Bet, whatever you betting platform you are on. Take the upset of Daniel DuBois because you are going to win some money if that comes true, my friend.